Hey guys, what's been going on? Sorry it's been a while that I haven't uploaded anything, but I've been waiting on parts really. So the last video we did was cleaning the injectors really dodgily because my awesome little injector tester cleaner crapped itself, as you would have seen in the video. I got to get around to actually having a look at that and see what's actually wrong with it. But look, the cleaning of the injectors, that was dodgy as hell. It did work for a little bit, but hold on. Sorry about that. Little brother gave me a call. So anyway, we'll get back to it. I did clean these. They were really dodgy clean. It did work, but still had a little dead spot in it. So I had these pulled out. I recently just got them back from BFIS, which is Brisbane Fuel Injection Service, and I sent another mate's 4 injectors. They were 1700 ID injectors. They come back good. These ones come back good, and I also sent away my very first old ID Injector Dynamics 2000cc injectors, and surprisingly they actually come back good. So cool. But at least I got spares now. So anyway, I have some parts. Some people might actually be quite familiar with what this is. Os-Giken. We have some parts from Powerhouse Racing, and we have, well, a box that looks like a breast pump. Well, yeah, but what's inside of it is actually for this. This is a BO3B 220mm ring gear twin turbo big diff for the Supra, and I actually pulled this out of the car because the torsion LSD that's in it is, well, it's flogged. It's got some backlash, not on the pinion and ring gear. It's backlash within the LSD itself. So if I just hold that, as you can hear in there, there's a bit of backlash, and I just didn't want to destroy it, so I put an AO2B, the original automatic gearbox, not gearbox, but a diff in this car, and that makes things, well, I have higher revs at 100 kilometers an hour, let's just say that. I think I'm doing like 2800 RPM at 100 in 6th gear, so she's really towy. She got a lot of torque, but yeah, it's definitely over revving. And also, I've had this diff in the car for probably about 3 years now, so the torsion, factory torsion that is in it, is actually even worse now than that one. So I splurged a little bit, went and got myself an Os-Giken 1.5 way LSD. And I'll tell you what, this thing is nice. And also I got this from, well, I got this through Jesse Streeter over in Japland. So, and he was awesome to deal with, straight to the point, and actually quite cheaper, a really good deal than what you'd find it on eBay or any of the other stores. And if you ask any other store, well, there's like a 10-week wait on making them or some bull crap. So we'll pull this out, which is quite heavy. Yeah, put on some rags. This is an Os-Giken Lsd. I think some of these have got like up to 24 clutches in them. They can have up to 24 clutches in them. Full billet, beautiful thing. Absolutely gorgeous. So it's a Spec S. You can see here, Spec S, Os-Giken. Beautiful little girl. I cannot wait. This is for the 220mm diff, so the big Supra diff over there. I cannot wait to get this put in. But not only am I just putting LSD in, I'm actually rebuilding that diff completely. And this is what's in the booby box. It is every factory seal and bearing for a 220mm BO3B Supra diff. Every single seal. Crush collar, all the seals, front pinion seal. Now, if you're asking who I got this from, or who I got it through, I got it through OEM for JDM. Now, Kieran, I got this kit years ago, and it's just been stuffed away in my little locker here for quite some time, because I never had this. But now I got this. There was one thing missing though that is discontinued, and that is the shims. The shims that go along each side to shim your hubs and, well, shim your diff spacing. Well, turns out that Powerhouse Racing, PHR, in this box here, they make one. And this is what they call, it's a peelable shim. So it looks like one big shim. It's actually not. I don't know exactly how they do it, but they do it pretty good. There's layers, many layers. And I forget how thick each layer is, but you know, got two of them, one for each side. Good. And I've also got the pinion peel away shim as well. It's a pinion shim. I actually bought two of them, just in case one gets screwed up somehow. I wanted to buy two of these as extra as well, but yeah, blah blah. But I got the peel away shims, full seal kit, an LSD from Os-Giken 1.5 way. I don't want a 2-way. This is still sort of a street car. And I tell you what, it's gonna be night and day, because these diffs are strong diff. They're almost like an 8.8 diff, really. Like, these are big diffs. They are heavy. The one thing I didn't get is one of the billet backing plates. So in due time, I'll get a backing plate. But tomorrow morning I'll be heading into Mackay to get the diff rebuilt, and then we are going to talk about this getrag V160 gearbox. In the Supra at the moment is a V161, second gear. Synchro is quite shotty. Well, you can drive around normally all good, but once you start getting up the RPMs and do quick pulls, yeah, second gear will normally just lock you out or grind. So, and I want a true, what do you call it, like RZ. This is an RZ. It was an RZ Auto when I got the kit. Not so much a kit, but conversion. It was a V161, which is still good. It's still a strong box, just as strong as a V160. Just different gear ratios. First to thirds different. I think they're a little bit higher in the V161, and they start sort of getting the same up through the gears. But I had it in the car for 1 week, and he thought it was okay. He never used it, so I thought it was okay. But third and fourth synchro on this is completely shot. So I've been in touch with Driveline over in Mackay there, and they're going to build the diff, and they're going to strip this gearbox down, see what it needs. And I've been in talk with a company called Neat Gearboxes down in South Australia. I wasn't going to send this down to South Australia. That would cost me like $600 in shipping one way, but I've been to talk to them, and whatever driveline find that is wrong with this one, they should be able to find parts, source parts for it. If it's just synchros, Neat Gearboxes can actually laser weld on brand new Synchrotech synchros onto the original gears and hubs and all that sort of stuff. So big changes. I won't have the big slop, because at the moment I've got so much slop between gearbox and diff. It's just it's a bit of a pain to drive. So diff will be rebuilt, gearbox rebuilt. Eventually that'll take a bit of time getting the parts back and forth from South Australia to Queensland, but anyway, shit's happening. That's going to be cool to have, because I'm not going to be revving my ass off anymore, and I'm not going to have the slop in the diff, the backlash really. But anyway, tomorrow morning I'll be taking all this into Mackay, and hopefully they can get the diff done in one day, and that might that gearbox will take a little bit of time, but I'll either include it into this video of putting that diff back into the Supra, and I'll even show you the backlash in the drive shaft in the diff. It's mental. Like, God, it clunks. Always got to keep a bit of torque on it just to keep it nice and smooth, but when you don't, it bucks, and yeah, it's a pain to drive. But anyway guys, things are happening, and it's going to be awesome. And then once the gearbox and diff's done, this goes back on the dyno, and we're going to start pumping some jam. We're going to jam 38 pound of boost down its guts. We're going to make that 1100 horsepower again. Yeah boy. Alright yo, early morning. We're all packed up. Gearbox, diff, parts. Now for the 2-hour trip to Mackay. Yippee! On the road again. Tell you what, she is just a little chilly this morning. My dash is totally so dusty. But 10 degrees. Ooh. Oh well, on the road, 2-hour trip to Mackay. Get this gearbox and diff dropped off. Well, we're finally in Mackay, the hustle and bustle. That was a long and boring 2-hour trip, but we're almost there.
Next right.
We'll get over to Driveline, North Queensland, different gearbox, and we'll get this thing unpacked, and hopefully they can get the diff all put together today, and the gearbox that'll take a little bit of time. So cool, let's get to it. This is the place, Driveline Services Australia, North Queensland, diff and gearbox. I've just dropped the diff off. They are a little bit busy today, and they're telling me that they've got a F350 diff to do at the moment, and he won't be finished that until late this afternoon. So my diff will probably get done tomorrow, and we'll pick it up later on in the week, or whenever I go back on days off. And the gearbox, of course, that's going to take a little bit of time, but they're going to strip it and figure out what it needs and what's wrong with it. But with the magic of filming and video editing, the next scene will probably be me picking up the diff. Righto, I'll see you all when that comes around. We're back at Driveline, and we've got our diff all redone, rebuilt, sweet as. Look at that fancy as everything's nice and tight. So we'll get this back home. It's gonna be sweet. They still got the gearbox, and they're still working on finding parts for the damn thing, but at least we got one thing done. And that's the old LSD, or torsion diff. Let's get this thing back home. Alright guys, we're back home with the diff. The diff is really tight. Gonna need to get some oil for it just to break it in, and then I've got the Os-Giken, the proper oil to run in it. But I'm gonna end that off here, and in the next video we'll be installing this sucker. Plus I also got some alloy tubing with -10 size, and we're going to try to hardline the drain off the turbo straight to the sump. So see if we can get it to free flow a little bit better, because it still is smoking a little bit. So that'll be in the next video, but I can't wait to put that in. It's going to make a hell of a lot of a difference. And next video you actually see how much backlash is actually in that rear diff that's actually in it now, right now. But anyway guys, thanks for watching, and like, subscribe if you... What are you doing, Jaxie? He's looking for the lizards. Like and subscribe. See you in the next one. Catch you guys.